What is up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching The Political Vigilante. How is everybody doing today? Thank you for joining us on the CIA Tube, Facebook, and, of course, all of the fine people who are on La Rockford. Hit the like button. Sound a bit bad. Mix? What the fuck is the problem now? All right. What the fucking hellfire? Hold on, we'll get that fixed. Give me a quick second, everybody. Oh, the Joker is probably up to his old tricks again, messing with my. Maybe Harley Quinn got in here. Whatever, Coke Benders. I think you don't actually have your microphone on, is what Kate is telling me. So I think, Kate, you don't have your microphone on. There, burn. It just burned you. All right, hold on. Let's see if we got here. Ah, of course.
It's the old trick of StreamYard just resetting itself for no good goddamn reason. How's that? Is that better now? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. It's that thing that StreamYard just does every once in a while. It'll just go in and change the settings that I've never changed. I didn't. So that's what happens. What's up? Touching buttons and messing with cords. That's the highlight of my show. This is when you have no technical people to help you. So yes, and thank you to everybody over on rockfin.com. Of course, we are in month 6. 6 months of being demonetized. 6 months. That's one of these 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these to YouTube. But thanks to all of you fine folks going to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is fantastic. We do a premium members live stream every Monday night. I didn't do one this week because I was enjoying the freedom of living in a horrific empire. 6 months. Yes, we're in July. We got demonetized February 1st. February, March, April, May, June. We are now in July, month 6. Boo, 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 boo. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. But so many of you have donated on Patreon, on Rockfin. You do the tip feature, which I appreciate. And of course, you've just donated on PayPal. You can go have a PayPal button on my website. And then many of you just give on Venmo at Graham-Elwood, which is great. I very much appreciate all the ways that you support the show. Some of you have even sent checks to the P.O. box, and I appreciate all of that because that has kept us going, which has been really cool. And I'm finishing up the tail end of an amazing... I haven't talked smoothie in a while because I usually eat them before. Unsweetened organic almond milk, half a frozen organic banana, handful of frozen organic strawberries, some frozen green vegetables, spinach, kale, I think, spirulina, and then this sort of green powder stuff I put in there too, and then vegan protein powder, a scoop of unsweetened organic peanut butter, and it just brings you a glass of truth. And there's no crybaby equivocation in here like Kyle Kalinske drinks every day. God damn, that's good. New tour dates, everybody. And a handful of Bitcoins. That's right. Graham, stop pushing Bitcoin. Don't buy it. Those of you who are like, most of you are like, cool, great, bought Bitcoin, bought in, waiting. It's shot up in the last year up to 60s, come back down about 35. So, but when the banks collapse and the housing markets collapse, all of us with Bitcoin will probably take a hit when all the markets collapse. It will, but it'll bounce back up, and eventually in the long run, it'll be worth more than everything. And that's what I will be laughing. Mike Figueredo, David Dole. I don't even know who these people are. I don't watch any of these shows. I don't watch them. I don't watch their nonsense. They all wish they were on MSNBC. I don't. MHC, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Folks, you can go over to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and support the show like MHC has just done. Time for Graham Elwood audio visual tutorial show. We got to get the Superman curl ready. Look at that. New tour dates, kids. Oh, here's what we're going to put in the chat. So there's a bunch of tour dates. I just added Pittsburgh. But we just got emailed us. That not a great sentence at all. Not really a solid. We just email us tour date sent mailings. Sorry. I apologize, people. Some of you have been asking, Graham, are you and Ron going to do shows in maybe like, I don't know, Northern California? Are you guys going to do that? You mean Cobb's in San Francisco? 3 p.m. show? You mean like that I'm just putting in the chat? Not even on my website yet. Just got the email. Ba-boom! Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Let me put that in the Rockfin. SSF. You think Cenk is going to do live shows where he like jerks off a horse or something like that? You think that's what's going to happen? Doc Terminus, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. You don't have to read this, but the most frustrating and hilarious part for me was Kyle laughing about Jimmy Dore drama as less relevant than pocket pussies, because confidentiality, Kyle Kalinske is a pocket pussy. Yeah, that's part of Kyle's whole thing. What he's doing is so, I don't know. I think he made the 2 videos. He's been completely ratioed. If you look, the comment section is all his fans calling him out very articulately. And like literally, like, there's like whatever 13,000 likes and 13,000 dislikes. Wow, that's bad. That is bad. I can tell you right now, like on YouTube, I have about a 96, 97% like to dislike ratio. That's the analytics that YouTube shows you. That tells you you're doing a good job. If you're in the 90 percentile of likes to dislike overall on all your videos, you know you're doing a good job. If like one video pops up and you get a bunch of dislikes, it's usually like, you can tell sometimes it's like trolls, like, you know, I've gone after whatever, this group or that group, and they all, ooh. But then when your own fans are like, this is bad, I do not agree with you, you made a mistake, this is awful, you're on the wrong side of this, that's when you know. And he knows. And then he dropped a bunch of videos. To just like try to get past it, which is what you do. You just drop a bunch of new clips talking about everything. But saying it's not relevant is part of the problem. Jimmy, and people are like, oh, enough with the Jimmy drama and the TYT and the Kyle Kalinske. So Cenk has called Jimmy a sexual predator and a Nazi. That's a serious accusation. Those are serious calling someone a sexual predator. That's a serious accusation. Smearing Aaron Matei, that's serious. This isn't like they disagree on policy and now they're just name calling. It's one thing if he's like, Jimmy Dore's an old has-been comedian and Chank's fat or whatever. If that's what the argument was, that would be like, this is childish and a waste of everybody's time. It is not. It's really what TYT is doing, and then Kyle trying to minimize it, breezing over the fact. So let's be real clear. Jimmy said nice news skirt 7 years ago to his boss, Anna Kasparian, because she wore inappropriate, and people like, that's slut shaming. What? No. What? Huh? And Kyle said, if Jimmy said that about my sister, I'd punch him in the face. First of all, Kyle, you're not tough at all. Don't act tough. Don't try to be tough. You're not tough. That is inappropriate work attire. All the times Jimmy apologized to Anna, Anna said, no big deal. She could have fired him on the spot. She continued to hire him after that, even invited Jimmy to her wedding. So if Jimmy was this big secret sex predator, why did all of those things happen? Kyle breezed over that fact. And then she sent Jimmy a text, a direct message like 2 weeks ago saying, I'm going to expose you. She blackmailed him. She was trying to. And she's weaponizing me too, which Kyle is minimizing. That's why Kyle is weak in this whole thing. I don't know the man personally, but he's weak. I've always found him to feel like he just sounds like he's trying to audition for MSNBC, and he's not funny, and he tries to be funny. That's the first thing I ever said when I saw 4.5 years ago when Jimmy was like, Graham, you should do a show. And he literally said, you should talk about losing your home. You should talk about going to the war zones. Jimmy's quote literally was, Graham, people are hungry for a guy like you. And I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't have a big fancy studio. What do I do? And he said, here's a handful of shows to start watching. One of them was like Sane Progressive, that woman, Deb, who opened up her laptop. And he goes, Graham, she looks like she just opens up her laptop when she wakes up and is having coffee on her couch and starts talking. And she's got like a big following. He goes, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just start talking. He goes, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a big studio. Work your way up to that. All this great advice. And one of the shows he told me to watch was Kyle Kulinski. And I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. And I remember the first thing I said to Jimmy, I go, wow, this guy really thinks he's a comedian. And Jimmy kind of laughed. He's like, yeah, he's trying to be Lee Camp. Is he trying to be this guy? Is he trying to act like that guy? Whatever, 4.5 years. I said, that's fine. I'm not, whatever. Let him do his thing. And then all Kyle had to do was just like publicly criticize Cenk on Twitter and then leave this alone. Canceling Jimmy. And then Kyle goes, well, Jimmy, those are personal texts. No. That's Jimmy texting the executive. Him and Crystal are the producers of that show. These are professional texts. Hey, let's have you come on July 1st at 10 a.m. at 5 of 10 or whatever. Jimmy's like, am I still doing the show? Never hears from them till 2.5 hours. This is all professional stuff. Kyle is just mad because Jimmy made him look bad. And now he's saying you don't show a friend. You've never been, if you were a real friend, you call a guy up. He never called him up. Kyle has been wrong on this every single step of the way. And people trying to minimize this as just some sort of like, drama is really, and Glenn Greenwald calls it out. And then Cenk goes nuts. I mean, the newest video is Cenk calling Jimmy a Nazi and a sexual predator. This is not a small thing. This is character assassination. They're trying to get rid of, they're trying to crush Jimmy's career. And Kyle is participating in that by going, by just not taking a side. And it's just like, or taking this weak stance. And then his own audience, you can disagree with me all you want, Kyle this, Kyle that, whatever, his own audience, go look at the videos, go look at the like to dislike ratio, read all of the comments from all of Kyle's fans, many of them very articulate. There's not a lot like, fuck you. There's like very articulate, like, Kyle, you're wrong. And here's why. He's lost followers and he's shot himself in the foot, and he keeps, and I love when Kyle goes, look, I didn't want to talk about this, but now I got to. No, you wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about this. I'm not going to sit here and go, okay, I didn't want to talk. No, I want to call this guy out. I don't trust him. I don't like him. I don't know him personally, but he refers to Jimmy as his good friend and does this. You call a guy up. That's what a man does. This is why I will never be good friends with. The biggest mistake Jimmy's made, and I've told Jimmy this, is I go, you thought these journalists were your good friends. That's the biggest mistake he made. You thought Anna and Cenk were like your good friends. They weren't. Someone invites you to their wedding, you think you're their good friend. Somebody, you know, and Kyle's been on Jimmy's show. And, you know, look, Jimmy has done all of their jobs better. All of us comedians, we're better. I can look, here's the thing. Me, Jimmy, Lee Camp, Ron, whatever, we can all do their jobs. We can all do their jobs as journalists. In some cases, in some ways better than them. But they can't do what we do. None of them. None of them can't go on stage and make a room full of strangers laugh. None of them. Not one. Not one. None of them. And that's what they can't handle. Kyle wishes he was a comic, but he doesn't have the fucking stones to go on stage to do it. So now he's talking this kind of mess. It's just like, it's just so, if I went, I'll say this. All the times I went to TYT to do aggressive progressives, if I showed up in tight leather, like rock and roll pants, you know, like all these hipsters in LA wear, right? Tight pants, you know, that barely go above my groin. And when I bend over, you see my ass crack, and I wear like an open collared shirt, like I'm going to a rock concert or I'm performing on stage. And I showed up to aggressive progressive that way and bent over and showed everybody in the newsroom my ass crack. And Jimmy went, "Hey, Graham, nice news pants." I wouldn't be like, "Jimmy's sexually harassing me." If he said that and everyone in the newsroom laughed, I'd go, "All right, he got me. He got me." And someone, and I almost guarantee you, someone at TYT would have gone, "Graham," probably Jimmy or somebody else. One of the other producers, Malcolm Fleischer, would have gone, "Dude, what are you doing dressing that way? Wear something a little more professional." They would always get at me of like not wearing I'd wear t-shirts or whatever, but wear a collared shirt, Graham. I was told it's a professional, wear a collared shirt. I was like, I don't have a sport coat, but they're like, if you could at least have a sport coat. Because even Cenk would have a t-shirt with a sport coat over it. So all this stuff is bullshit. All these accusations are bullshit. And it's really this making it about Jimmy and this letter and this and that. They're obfuscating and deliberately minimizing the weaponization of the Me Too movement, which actually undermines real people, women and men can be sexually harassed by their bosses at the workplace. Anna was his boss. Everyone seems to breeze past that. Anna was his boss. Anna could have gone, "I want this fucking guy here." If Jimmy was such a sex creep, she would have gone, "He's out." And there would have been no discussion. None. Jimmy apologized to her 7 years ago. No public pressure. Nobody Me Too'd him online. He just went, "Hey, my friend Anna, I made fun of her. Everybody laughed." There's nothing sexual in the three nice news skirt. Which of those three words is sexualized? So it's all bullshit. I'm so sick of listening to this fucking crap. And what it's doing two things. It's exposing that TYT was never about doing any real work, especially when you watch their videos from 7 years ago talking about horse cock and camel toes and shit. Right? Like, does Kyle and Crystal Ball just breeze past that? They're not. Look, they're opportunists. They're not real journalists. They're just this. And I'm a comedian. They're claiming to be real journalists. I've always said I'm a political comedian. That's what I've said. And I can cover this shit better than they can. And they have no integrity. None. They're weasels, man. They're weasels. What a bunch of fucking weasels. Cenk is out of his mind. He's crazy. And he's being exposed, and TYT is crumbling. I mean, they have 5.1 million subscribers. So this it's just some silly drama. No. A massive indie media with a massive online presence is calling Aaron Maté an Assad apologist. They're smearing Aaron Maté. They've badmouthed Julian Assange. They're in favor of some wars. You can't be a progressive if you're in favor of war. I'm sorry. You can't be. You can't call yourself that. Some wars are good. Sorry. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. I've gone further to the left in the last 4.5 years of doing this show than I was before. And so it is valid to say, what the fuck are they doing? They're smearing Aaron Maté. And Jimmy. I'm sorry. When Cenk Uygur sits in front of on his platform with 5 million subscribers saying Jimmy is a sexual predator and a Nazi, that needs to be talked about. I'm sorry. This is not a small thing. This isn't some like, again, if they were just like bickering, you know, they didn't, you know, or Kyle Kalinske came out and said, I don't agree with Jimmy's force the vote plan. I think there's a better way to do this. And Jimmy flipped out and fuck you. And that's fair. Or like the, hey, anytime someone disagrees with someone or disagrees with Jimmy, everybody cancels that person. That's that in general. No, that's not a good thing. Just disagreeing and canceling. But this is much more than that. And to minimize it, any woman out there that's been sexually harassed and a Kasparian is actually making it harder on you. And in turn, so is Kyle Kalinske by validating this crap, and Crystal Ball, apparently. So I you know, it's just, I don't subscribe to any of their shows. I don't watch them. You know, someone was like, oh my God, you see, they interviewed this person on Crystal and Kyle's show, and they were wearing, you know, an AOC shirt. Ultimately, Kyle Kalinske, man, he's always struck me as a guy that wants to be invited to the cool kids party. You know, he would complain to Jimmy when AOC stopped returning his texts and phone calls, and yet he wouldn't be that critical of the squad. It took him forever to finally get kind of critical of the squad because he doesn't want to lose access to AOC. He still wants to have her on his show. She won't return his phone calls. I mean, that's ultimately what the guy is. You watch his show, it looks like he's auditioning for MSNBC. And same thing with Crystal. I don't know any of these people personally. I don't want to know them because I'm not friends with journalists. I would never call a journalist a real friend of mine. There's a handful of them I have respect for professionally, the people I've had on the show and others. Jordan Sheridan, I respect him. Whitney Webb, Elizabeth Lee Voss, you know, other journalists we've had. We just had Christy I. She's a financial journalist. I got respect for her. Aaron Matei, we have him scheduled to be on the show. I got mad respect for that guy. I got mad respect for Abby Martin and Chris Hedges. But friends? I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's a thing. So, you know, and I've been called, I'm a lapdog for Jimmy, whatever people have accused me of. Yeah, Jimmy's my friend, man. And let me tell you something, you know, I'm an Irish guy from Chicago. You come at my buddy, you're coming at me. I hope you know how to fight, motherfucker. Because the facts have been laid out and you're still talking shit. Okay. I'll beat you mentally. I'll make fun of you. I'm intellectually superior to you. I'm better looking than all of these idiots. And I'll knock you the fuck out. We can go any way you want to go, man. You know, I don't have no interest in debating any of these morons. I barely even know who half these fucking idiots are because I don't watch any of their stupid shows. And they're shitheads. I got into this 4.5 years ago to try to make the world a better place. They got into it to get clicks and likes and views. As I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. If I wanted to just do comedy videos, I could do that, man. I could absolutely do that. And I would have more viewers. I wouldn't be getting demonetized. I wouldn't be getting deplat. I wouldn't get any of this shit if I was just doing cute, funny videos. And I could do a shit ton of those. And I'd have 500,000 or 1 million subscribers right now. And I would just not put any of my personal opinions out there. And I'd just be funny on Twitter and social media. And it's I wouldn't talk politics. I'd just make a little joke. Maybe I would have made fun of Trump's hair, Biden's slurring his speech, but I wouldn't talk policy. I wouldn't talk about how Biden has increased the ICE budget. I won't talk about any of that. You know, like I could do all that stuff. And so ultimately having to spend all this time on this is not because it's petty drama. It's because these fucking assholes at TYT, namely Cenk and Anna, and Kyle co-signed it. Kyle could have made this so easy, and he just I hope he loses followers. He doesn't deserve to have followers. Don't give him your money. Don't subscribe to these people. Don't like the videos. That's awful. They're trying to fucking, and all Jimmy has helped all of these people. TYT has made money off of Jimmy. When Jimmy was doing aggressive progressives, he was generating that network money. Jimmy would tell me, and the producers would tell me that like, the memberships, like aggressive progressives brought in the most memberships. So if Jimmy was just this awful sexual predator, why, what? Oh, they kept him around because he did money. And Kyle liked being on a show because I'm sure Kyle got a bump in his numbers when he was on Kyle's show. Kyle being on Jimmy's show probably helped him get on Joe Rogan. You know, when he went on Joe Rogan and said, Jimmy's my good friend. Fuck you, man. You punk. Like, I'm tired of it. And, you know, force the vote. 68,000 people a year are dying, but we're more concerned with Jimmy's angry. Okay. They're all sellouts, man. And Jimmy, look, he heard from high up at TYT that they got the money and they got a mandate when they got that $20 million to start moving more towards the center. And when Jimmy called that out, he took a ton of shit for that. So TYT keeps fucking and lying and doing all this bullshit, but it's Jimmy's fault. This is what crazy drug addicts do. Hey, you're a drug addict. Oh, stop. Then they blame you. This is what they do. And Kyle, I don't want to get involved, but I had no choice. Yeah, you did. You had a choice. Stop acting like someone put a gun to your head to make videos. I couldn't wait to fucking come on camera and rip you apart, you shitbird. No, I didn't know what to do. I had to do this. Shut up. I'm an introvert. Oh, then why are you doing a YouTube show? Even his second video says nonsense in it. I'm an introvert. I don't like conflict. Oh, really? Is that why you go on camera and talk all this shit about the ruling class and the Democratic Party and all of the corruption going on and Trump? Really? Because you just don't, I don't like conflict. Shut up. I like a little conflict. I like mixing it up. I'm not going to candy ass you. I'm waiting for things to open back up so I can get back into a martial arts class. Jesus. So I played football in high school. I like fucking running into people, like knocking people out. People that talked a lot. All right, line up, blow. Let's hike the ball. Let's go. I hate all this Mickey Mouse talk shit online. Like fucking fight me, man. Come at me. Let's go. Even if you knock me out, at least I'm going to land a few. Oh, fucking shitheads. Just like, God, so tired of this crap. And thanks to TYT, we're not talking about we could have helped get Medicare for all. We could be calling out the squad, unifying. We all could unifyingly be calling out the squad and demanding them to do the thing they said they were going to do. You know, the thing that all of us in the lefty indie media helped get the squad elected when we said to vote for candidates like this, vote for progressive candidates. This is how real change is going to happen. I said it on this show. Kyle did. Jimmy did. Forced the fucking TYT did. Oh, yeah. But now that they're in office, we're not holding them accountable, and it's Jimmy's fault. We could be, and Anna Kasparian's like, we're leading a movement. What movement? Tell me what movement TYT has led. Tell me, explain it to me. Explain me the movement. Show me the movement. Where is the movement? When did they take their 5 million followers and get something done? I got 78,000. Okay. If I had 5 million followers, you better bet your sweet ass I would be pressuring the shit out of these people. I'd be like, call AOC's office, get on that's what Jimmy was doing. Call them up, call Mark Pocan, call all these people up, hold them accountable. Oh, Jimmy's too mean. We have no movement. We have nothing. We have candy ass opportunists. You want to watch those shows? Go for it, man. Watch whatever you want to watch. I don't watch them. I barely watched The Rising. I've never watched, I've watched a handful of full videos of I stopped watching TYT years ago. I don't watch them. I don't watch those shows. I don't support them in any way because I know likes and views and shit, all even just views help. I don't even like giving them views because the view count helps. If I do view it, at least give it a thumbs down. You know, the oligarchs are laughing at this whole shit, at all of this shit. And you can thank TYT for this, Cenk and Anna specifically, and then Kyle for keeping this going. That's who you can thank. I'm going to cover other subjects on this show, as I always do, as I did last night. But these guys are assholes, and they don't deserve your time or your money or your support in any way, shape, or form. If I ever had a problem with Jimmy Dore, I'd call him up. I wouldn't send him a text 2.5 hours later after I said he was going to be on my show and give some bullshit thing. That's a cowardly act. And then make some candy ass video. I'd call Jimmy up. And Jimmy would call me up. That's how men deal with stuff, Kyle. It's so stupid. And this is why the left is so easily fractured, because we got all these posers in there. And what we really see is that TYT really is the problem, because they sheep herded all of us in there, right? They all thought, all of us at one time or another thought, man, TYT, this is the first time I went over there and started paying. I was like, damn, man, they got Jordan Sheridan covering Flint, Michigan. We talked to people in like a Palestinian and Israeli, like trying to find peace. I remember this was the first show I ever did on Aggressive Progressive. I was like in their studio. I was like, wow, this is, they're doing real work here. They're doing real work here. I didn't know Chankarana. Jimmy's the one who brought me in. I was like, man, this is cool. I met Malcolm. I met Steve O. I was like, wow, they're really trying to get real shit done here. Then they took the $20 million from Katzenberg, and that's when they started going to the center. And anyone that's called them out, they attack. And Kyle wants, he's hoping he'll get, if somebody offered Kyle Kalinske $20 million, you better bet your sweet ass he'd take it. Newer studio, fancier suits. I buy these at Ross. Yeah. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that. So there's no left movement. It's been killed mainly by TYT. And there's no indie nothing. There's just, try to get done stuff done on a local level. Do your own work in your community, do a beach cleanup, help the homeless, I don't know. And start building tiny homes in your community for the homeless. Do what you can to protect the environment on your stuff, get on school boards, get on city councils. There's no big left movement. It's been gutted. You got crazy people still talking about stop the steal. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no movement. There's no nothing. And look, the ruling class is having a blast. They're laughing. They're laughing through all. They're fucking falling out of their chairs laughing. And Kyle Kalinske helped keep that going. He wants to act like he's some innocent observer. Nope. He helped perpetuate it. So, and you got to, and I'm going to protect the reputations of people like Jimmy and Aaron Matei. I don't know Aaron personally. I have mad respect for his work. He's an actual journalist. He's not trying to be a comedian or thinks he's this. He doesn't want a job with MSNBC. He doesn't want it. The gray zone folks, I don't know any of them personally. I just see their work and I respect it. Mint Press News, I see their work and I go, that's real. They're doing real work. They're trying to do real work. When we have Whitney Webb on the show, she's trying to do real work. Glenn Greenwald now. Chank just called Glenn Greenwald a Nazi. And Kyle's going to line up with that. And people are going to say this is some small fight, calling Glenn Greenwald a Nazi. All right. Glenn Greenwald that did Edward Snowden and has been in like Glenn, that Glenn, we're going to call him a Nazi. Cenk Unger, who denied the Armenian genocide for the better, like probably more than half of his life, and still has a channel called The Young Turks, which I didn't even know. I thought Young Turks meant, the young upstarts. I didn't realize till just a couple years ago when an Armenian friend told me, no, Graham, Young Turks is like, the Young Turks were like basically the SS of the Ottoman Empire that helped spearhead the Armenian genocide. That the Turkish government and most Turks still deny. But Jimmy's too angry. Jimmy said, nice news skirt. Okay. Hey, fuck you. You Armenian genociding, denying piece of shit. Anna Kasparian isn't even welcome in her own fucking Armenian church in Glendale. How do I know this? She said it. And have any of them been into war zones? I have. Jimmy went over once. I've been to a bunch of war zones. I lost money going to war zones. I have a movie, Afghanistan, that you can get at rockfin.com that still lost money. Friends of mine invested a bunch of money in it. And I said, at the time, I said, you guys, there's a good chance you might not get this back. And they're like, Graham, we just want to support what you do. It's a friend of mine. Him and his wife are doing fine. But that movie never made money. So they're like, oh, Graham went over there for profit. I got paid half as what I would make as a road comic. I turned down work to go over there. So don't sit in your fucking studio named the Young Turks, which is like basically the SS studio. Anna Kasparian working there is like a Jewish person working at the SS network or the Gestapo TV or whatever. Don't sit there. And Cenk sitting up there on his high horse, well, probably under it so he could jerk it off. But they're all bullshit. They're all bullshit. So I'll keep doing this. Tomorrow, we're doing the game show, 6 o'clock, hour earlier than normal. Kate, pay attention, 6 o'clock Pacific time with Jordan Sheridan and Jen from Status Quo. We're doing it an hour early because they're on the East Coast. And it was normally, if we did it at 7, it'd be 10 o'clock their time. So we're going to do 6. So it's a little earlier for them. Anytime we've done the East Coast, we usually do an hour. We did that for Lee and Eleanor. So that's tomorrow, 6 o'clock, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. Jerry Tatum, looking forward to seeing you in Asheville, North Carolina this fall. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Jerry. MHC, boom. Just saw the SF show link is on the Cobb's website and presumably on your, not on my site yet. I will. It'll be up there in a sec. Though they won't actually be for sale until Friday. Just hoping they don't sell out too quickly for me to get one. Well, Cobb's is a pretty big venue, and the state of California just opened up it was only at like 20 or 30% capacity, and now it's my understanding that it's full capacity. But yeah, get your tickets to Cobb's. It's a Saturday afternoon show. We're doing some matinees, so get your tickets. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Farkas Garvey. Farkas, good to see you in the chat, brother. Haven't seen you there in a while. Graham, XRP will top $100 US on April 7th, 2022. Stop pushing crypto. It's a scam. Sorry, that's my impression of anybody that says that. Thank you for telling us that. It is 65 cents now. I don't want you to miss it. Keep 10,000 XRP till April and thank me. Huge fan, bro. And also, I love hearing you bring up Sane Progressive every now and then. She's like the same person as me, but a woman. Yeah, Sane Progressive was awesome, man. And she just said, fuck this, I'm out of here. And part of me is like, oh, I'm bummed she's not still reporting. But part of me is like, man, I totally get that. I was like, God, I've had days where I wanted to just go, bye, click. But man, I don't know her personally, but I have mad respect for everything she did and the way she left. Mad respect. Thank you for the XRP tip, Farkas. I will take you up on that. Kyle isn't a journalist. He's a car salesman trying to make money on YouTube. You did that, Graham. I'm going to hold you against you 7 years from now. Farkas Garvey, boom. Hey, also search on YouTube. TYT should curvier teachers have tighter dress codes? I still remember from 4 years ago. Holy shit. All right, we're looking at that right now.
They said it couldn't be done.
Monroe was recently voted Teacher of the Month at her school, but unfortunately, that's not the reason why she has caught some scrutiny in the media. So she's been posting these photos to Instagram of her in her classroom, and then the hashtag started trending, #TeacherBay. And this sparked an online conversation about whether or not she was dressed appropriately. So let's look at some of these photos that Paris has. Obviously, that is a knee-length dress. The collar is up to her chin practically. And the issue that
we'll
people,
say clavicle.
yeah, clavicle. But the issue that people have is that apparently these are inappropriate outfits for school. This person says that teacher looks good AF, but her attire is just inappropriate to be teaching a 4th grade class. Little boys are pervs by like 2nd grade. So commenting that they don't feel that what she's wearing is okay to be teaching in. We have some more tweets that say what I thought was a work dress versus what Twitter thinks is a work dress. So this seems to be a comment on her curvy figure. Monroe commented to the Daily Dot. She said, quote, I just wish they would respect me and focus on the positive and what truly matters, which is educating the children of the future generations and providing and caring for them. And like I said in my introduction, she just won Teacher of the Month. She is a really, she seems everything that we know about her. She is a competent teacher, and she's catching all this scrutiny on her outfits alone. I want to know what you guys think, because I will just say from the get, this is some bullshit.
Yeah, what's she supposed to wear? A burqa? I mean, I don't even get what the
She's
controversy
curvy.
is.
That's not a crime.
Yeah.
If I feel
Kenny.
so, okay. First of all, my teacher never looked like this, because damn it, I probably would have got an A. I think the issue is because she's curvy, they wanted to wear a little bit more loose fitting clothes, so it's not about her. You can't help but to not look at that ass when she's walking in this type of dress, because it's being highlighted by what she's wearing, in the sense of it's form-fitting tight, so you're going to see everything. And what they're saying is you want the kids to focus on your work and not your
Which clearly
work.
they are if she's Teacher of the Month.
Right. But again, that's part of this issue that I see. I don't have an issue with it necessarily, but I do understand like that one graphic where they say this is a work dress, because it flows. And I honestly feel like women know if they're going to get more attention if they wear this rather than that. Am I wrong?
No, I would totally agree with you, because I have made a conscious choice, obviously with my own dress, to make sure I do not attract male attention, because I'm not interested
Well, it's
in
like
that.
if you wear a
So
tight-fitting
I know,
shirt,
right?
then
But I
you know that they're going to look
I
at
would
you
know the sort of tops I could wear if I
Right.
wanted that to be accentuated at all. So I do know what you're coming from. Obviously, women make a conscious choice about what they are wearing, and no one's forcing someone to wear something that they aren't comfortable in. I think I just don't understand the controversy. I totally hear where people are coming from, but it seems like she's doing her job well. There are some
She's
other
having fun
photos.
doing it.
Yeah, I think it should be noted the controversy is all coming from assholes on the internet.
That are
no,
not
no school seems to have any problem with any of this.
Yeah. Jimmy made a nice work shirt joke, apologized, and Anna said, it's no big deal, Jimmy, let it go. And then she decided to use it 7 years later. Doc Terminus, shaving knuckles for justice. Kyle is that dude you went to college with that tried to be friends with everybody's girlfriend, and then after you broke up, tried to sleep with them. Yeah. And said how much of a good friend he is. MHC, shaving knuckles for justice. Even a defensive war of the United States, e.g. Pearl Harbor, War of 1812, would be bad. That doesn't mean the U.S. shouldn't fight back on a hypothetical foreign invasion, but war is always ugly and ends in countless deaths on all sides. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, if somebody invades us, of course we're not going to just sit there, but I can't tolerate this. I mean, Jimmy showed the chink from several years ago justifying the bombing in Syria and saying sometimes it's necessary. I can't listen to that American empire bombing foreign countries. We're not affected by that at all. It doesn't affect our daily lives, and we're just blowing up countries while we talk about it over brunch or whatever. That drives me absolutely nuts. And the complete distancing of war, and we have no we're numb to it. And the people that talk about, well, it's sometimes kind of necessary, either have never been to war, they've never seen it, they've never smelt it, they've never been up close to it, they've never seen the destruction that it causes, they've never seen a wounded person, soldier, kid, human being. I have. It's pretty horrific. So, and then they're just so okay with war, and then Assange is a bad person, and then Aaron Matei comes out and says, wait a minute, this is wrong. I have new information. The OPCW reports, I've talked about it. Aaron has done the most extensive work on it of anyone I've seen, but we've talked to several people about it. I've had Tariqa Dodd on this show talking about it. And they're just okay they're pushing State Department talking points. TYT is. So I just yeah, I mean, obviously we're invaded, but just this like talking about war like it's just some strategy or whatever, and it's without taking into account the human lives and destruction that happens and the money that's spent. That drives me nuts. Yeah, they made TYT made Jimmy buy the rights back to his own fucking name. He had to pay them money to get his show back, to get the rights to his show back. Matt S. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Have you heard anything shady going on with Medicare for All movement? I've heard things, but not really sure what's going on. I don't know. I mean, they're happening in some different cities. I don't know. I'm not that tied into it. I'm going to cover it where I'm at July 24th. Yeah, that's all I really know. I haven't heard anything shady. Yeah, it sounds like they're just trying to get it out there. Alexander Duman, shave him. Tell Jimmy to keep his Rockfin up to date. I've been putting off watching his videos on YouTube. You got it. David Guevara, you're a fighter, Graham. Thank you so much, David. Cuttaphil, what's up, Cuttaphil? I haven't seen you forever. Good to see you in the chat. I wonder how TYT divided the money. I don't think Cenk spent it all. They literally burned through it. They burned through it. And they had all this money and all these revenue streams before that. Like they didn't need it. But it's that thing Jimmy told me. Jimmy asked, what's your end game, Cenk? And he goes, world domination. What's yours? And Jimmy went, just to be healthy enough to enjoy my success. That's Cenk said. We wanted world domination. Do whatever he's got to do to get world domination. That's all he cares about. That's why he takes the 20 million. That's why, like any sociopath, any narcissist, when confronted, can't admit fault, doubles down and makes more crazy claims. He's just like Trump now. Cenk is just saying crazy shit like Trump. It's insane. Same with Anna. They're all just doing whatever they can, and they built this business up that there's no if I built up TYT, I would never take 20 million from Katzenberg and tell me to go to the center. I'd be like, no way. They took that money, they tried to get into the YouTube cable or whatever. Like, it's unreal. Shaving knuckles for justice. Green Hill. What are the chances that the CIA assassinated the Haitian president? He was a banana farmer and his replacement went to college in New York. Smells like CIA to me. Could very well be the case. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about that, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. 321 likes. Yeah. Cenk is weak. He can take 20 million, but he can't flip that and give 20 million to another TYT upstart. Cenk watches too much porn and pays for OnlyFans. Yeah. It's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts. It's just ridiculous. MHC, boom. I've noticed that besides your own channel, all the streams I watch on Rockfin, I watch consistently get cut off about 5 seconds too early. Wow, I didn't notice that. I wasn't aware of that. That's weird. Cenk called Jimmy's audience right-wingers, which is a partisan hack take. You should be open to changing the minds of those who don't completely agree with you. Oh, that's the other thing too. Calling Jimmy a right-wing, they're calling him a Nazi. Because he goes after the Democratic Party? He's a Nazi? It's unreal, man. Yeah, Ron's channel was a part of TYT. I don't know if it still is. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Jimmy has both left and right fans. That's why they're so mad. That's why they're so scared. They're so, oh my God. Oh, I forgot to tell you, in addition to San Francisco, we have Sacramento dates on the 12th at the Sacramento Punchline, September 12th, Sunday, 7:30 p.m. show. Sacktown, here we come. We'll be doing live stand-up comedy, something none of those journalists could ever do, ever in their lives. San Francisco, September 11th, Sacramento, September 12th. Get there. That's the start of the tour. These two dates that I just posted. Put that in the Rockfin as well. This might sound shallow, but I love your takes and your show, Ex-Miami Cop. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Stopped watching TYT after I figured out that Aggressive Progressives was behind the TYT paywall and to be uploaded 3 days later, and the YouTube Red paywall for the same day only. So I pay twice. Screw them. Yep. Oh, yeah. And the other thing, too, they got mad is when Jimmy left Aggressive Progressives, their subscriber numbers went down. I mean, what does it tell you? Jimmy has what, 900,000 subscribers, and TYT has 5.1 million. When Jimmy goes live, he gets 10 to 13,000 people watching, and they get 3,000. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Jimmy actually unites the left and right. Far be it for authoritarians to want to crush anyone who does that. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that they can't stand. Anytime somebody unites. And look, Force the Vote was Jimmy using his audience to mobilize them. And that really scares the powers that be. It's one thing to just comment on stuff, but when you mobilize people and you get everybody to do something, that's when they go after you. And that's exactly what happened to Jimmy. And the way they do it is, whatever. They whisper in the ear of somebody like Chanking or Jimmy, whatever. So, and they thought TYT's 5 million against Jimmy's 800,000 would win, and it's not. But this is Jimmy unites the right and the left. And anytime you unite people, they come after you. Anytime you unite people, they come after you. That's what they do. So, yeah, ba boo ba dee ba doo ba doo boo dee ba doo boo dee boo. Oh, Kate, can you put up a be right back? I forgot to build this segment real quick. I will be right back. Be right back, kids. A couple minutes. We're going to do 2 hot, fresh segments. Boom. All fueled by vegan guns. Oh, we're back. We're back, everybody. Am I surfing? No, I was not surfing. I'm surfing the internet. Matt S. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting us at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. These are all examples of why the left eats its own. I want to agree with progressive policies, but Jesus, y'all need to stop attacking each other, referring to TYT. The far right is blindly in line, as dumb as they are. I know. You're not wrong, Matt S. You are not wrong. Sadly, you are correct. Should be the blame Jimmy George when the old man get back together. All right, let's do a couple of segments, guys. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Look at that. Look at the truth coming up from Gotham. We're recording this underneath Wayne Manor on the outskirts of Gotham City. We've talked a lot on the show about Epstein, right? One of the things I focused on is Les Wexner, who is the creator of Victoria's Secret. And we've talked about how Epstein and Les Wexner were friends for years. And Epstein and people like Ghislaine Maxwell would use Victoria's Secret as a recruiting tool for young girls. Oh, you want to be a Victoria's Secret model? Oh, we'll make you famous. There's even instances of Victoria Roberts Giuffre saying Epstein was like laughing because he got some parents to give them fly over their children. And he's like, everyone's got a price. And she would talk about it. They would laugh about that. We know Maria Farmer in her interview with Whitney Webb called Les Wexner the head of the North American snake, meaning the head of the North American pedophile sex trafficking ring. Les Wexner has a big mansion in Ohio. Ohio, random weird coincidence, has really high rates of sex trafficking. Weird. That's weird. And there's also a big opioid epidemic. I'm sure he's not snatching up, young girls who got injured and now are addicted to opiates and now they're prostituting themselves. And there's all these apps. Apparently you watch that Mayor of Easttown series on HBO. And there's one of the girls in there. They talk about that. She got injured. She got hooked on. Now it's a fictional story, but it's based in the reality of what's happening in Ohio and Pittsburgh and all over the country, really. And this girl in the story, fictional story, but this happens in reality, got injured, hooked on opiates. And then she's on one of these prostitution apps to pay for her habit. How does that all tie into this story? Well, a former Victoria's Secret model has come forward as saying she was told to have a lot of sex and get cocaine and everything when she was with Victoria's Secret. I'm sorry, the whole model industry is pretty awful. And it's not a coincidence that Donald Trump had a modeling agency. It's not a coincidence that all this sex trafficking happens within the modeling industry. And even so there's the sex trafficking, which is obviously awful. And they get children, young girls to go, we'll make you famous if you want to be a big fancy model. Oh, and now you're trafficked and you're sleeping with all these older dudes and it's horrific. But then there's just the good old fashioned keep the models coked up. A former Victoria's Secret model says agencies told her to use cocaine and have lots of sex to lose weight while she was underage. And we're going to hear her story in a second because she put it on Instagram. But this story, now what she's going to say, I don't think there's anything where she clearly says, oh, I saw sex trafficking happening. But if this is going on, and all the other known ties we have through Epstein to Les Wexner, to just the modeling industry in general, we know the tactics of recruiter and pedophile sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, rat-faced monster that she is, that Trump said, I wish her well. Great. So this is just, we've been exposing a lot of this on this show. I have a whole Epstein playlist, but this is just sort of more evidence to the culture in the fashion industry.
I've had a few people ask me, why am I speaking up now about the fashion industry? Why didn't I speak up sooner? Let me take you on a journey through time and space. By the age of 18, I had lived in 3 countries alone. I traveled to all continents except for Antarctica. I'd been groomed by a much older man. I'd been sexually assaulted multiple times. I'd been told to do cocaine to lose weight by my agent. Been told weekly. Been under a lot of pressure to lose weight by my agencies. I developed PTSD. I'd been told whilst I was underage to just have lots of sex to lose weight. I was struggling with my gender identity. I developed anorexia and orthorexia and anxiety and depression. Couldn't socialize without drinking, and was developing quite the reliance on Xanax and Ambien in order to get me through the night. And that was before I turned 18. It didn't get better from there.
Before I turned 18. Encouraged to have sex with older men while she was underage. This is just one model story. But you start taking what she's saying, you put that with Virginia Roberts, you put that with Maria Farmer. It's just more evidence.
And then 8 years later, on my 26th birthday, I had a nervous breakdown and I couldn't leave my house for a year without panic attacks and severe anxiety. I also had a bout with suicidal ideations, which was terrifying, and that was 4 years ago. Today, I am 2+ years sober. I'm 4 years in recovery from an eating disorder. I'm happy, I'm balanced, and I'm strong, and I feel the best I've ever felt. And the reality is, I couldn't talk about my experiences before I reached this place because I would have intense PTSD flashbacks, I would have panic attacks, and I wouldn't be okay. But I am okay now, and that's why I'm speaking out. I'm in solid recovery, and I'm strong enough for any backlash, and I wasn't before this. The only reason why I am doing this is because I'm a strong believer that the fashion industry needs to change. I'm one of the lucky models. I was able to make a long career out of the fashion industry, but my job should not include abuse, and that is why I'm speaking up now. And also, I am in St. Martin.
Yeah. I mean, what she went through supports a lot of the stuff we've uncovered. I mean, what she's saying too, I'm one of the lucky ones, that supports what Maria Farmer said. She goes, she saw young girls just disappear. You know, she was encouraged to sleep with these older men and do cocaine and basically was groomed by an older man, which is all awful. But the sad reality, that actually pales in comparison to being flown to Epstein's Island when you're 13 years old or whatever, being passed around by, again, like convicted billionaire Jean-Luc Brunel, friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, hung out on Epstein's Island. So this is just one story. And this shows how awful the predatory billionaire class is. You know, it's said that Epstein got Brunel like 2 twin sister children for his birthday or something horrific like that. Peter Nygaard has also been arrested. We talked about, he got arrested last year. He's in the fashion industry. Jean-Luc Brunel's in the fashion industry. So this isn't some like, you know, they're going to try to say what, few bad apple. They're going to play that game. Like, the Catholic Church had just had a few bad apples. Just a few bad apples in the police department. Just a few bad. There's not systemic racism, just a few bad apples. No. I've heard this story. I've heard the cocaine thing just from models that I've known. They're encouraged to do cocaine. And the weight thing, they're told to stay crazy skinny. These beautiful women who are like curvy or whatever, they're told, oh, they're fat and ugly. And they're just given all these horrifying messages. But then they're given cocaine and they get to hang out on some billionaire's yacht or whatever. And they're all coked up and it's a nightmare. And you're taking advantage of a child. The human brain isn't fully developed till it's like in its probably sometimes almost 25 years old. You're talking about early to mid 20s when the human brain is fully developed. So you're putting a child on drugs and flying them around and abusing them. And she's talking about the abuse. And she said, yeah, why didn't you talk sooner? Because it's traumatic. It's hard to talk about. You got to go through years of recovery and all this stuff. But let's focus on the Epstein Les Wexner tie. Now she doesn't mention Les Wexner at all. Maybe she never even met Les Wexner. I don't know. But if the head of your company is the head of the North American snake, as Maria Farmer says, and then we've got this, Jeffrey Epstein used. Now again, that this is you got to dig through. This is corporate media. So this is Les Wexner. There's no photos of Wexner sitting side by side with Jeffrey Epstein. He had them all scrubbed from the internet. Probably. They're hard to find. You can find them. They're at this like fashion thing, and they're each on either. There's like 5 or 6 guys sitting between them. But this is also, you got to be careful. And I've talked about this before. This is the corporate media tilting the argument to Epstein used billionaire behind Victoria's Secret for wealth and women. So Jeffrey did all the bad stuff. And the billionaire, we don't even get his name in the title. Of course, this is the New York Times. Les Wexner, I'm sure, buys a lot of ad time with the New York Times. And I'm sure he said, hey, man, get my name out of this. Do you notice in the corporate media, we never talk about, or they never talk about Les Wexner? I talk about it. Other Epstein people talk about it. But the corporate media never talks about Les Wexner. Now, again, that model, she didn't mention Les Wexner, but I'm saying there's just too many. This is not some random, she was the one bad apple that she slipped through the cracks or whatever bullshit they're going to try to paint. And this, I show you this title, to show you the connection between Epstein and Les Wexner, but also the corporate media's slanting of it. And especially since Epstein's dead. We got the one bad guy. Now, and I just did a video like a week ago, they're starting the picture starting to be painted of, they're not going to, Epstein hanging himself with a paper t-shirt in prison was too much press. They don't want press. The billionaire pedophiles don't want press. So now they're going to try to hang it on Jolene. And they're taking a year. I bet you this, why they took so long to put her on trial. Her trial is in November. She got arrested last fall. I bet you it's a year to try to find whatever hard drives and whatever damning videos she's got of all these pedophiles with children. Because they're going to hang it on her. They're going to go, it was Epstein and Jolene. Well, Epstein's dead. He killed himself and Jolene's in prison. It's over. That's how they're going to try to paint this. And that's what an article like this is. They even did it in that next Netflix thing. The survivors, the victims spoke and they said some really damning things, but then the documentarians in the final edit didn't follow up on anything. They just let these women make these pretty damning claims and accusations about very powerful people. And then they just moved on and they just kind of shrouded it in this who knew Epstein was, we just thought he was a financier and we didn't know. They didn't know. Really? So Victoria's Secret model is talking about she's told to sleep with older men while she was underage and do cocaine. Les Wexner didn't know. Les Wexner, the shrewd businessman, didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was. Give me a break. This is all whitewashing, these titles. Within years of meeting Mr. Epstein, Mr. Wexner handed him sweeping powers over his finances. Isn't it? So this is what they do. This is in the text of the New York Times article, but why isn't Les Wexner in the title? And why is it worded in such a way that Epstein used? It's not, no, Wexner and Epstein. You think Les Wexner is going to hand sweeping powers over his finances, philanthropy, and private life and not know who this guy is? According to interviews with people who knew the man, as well as court documents and financial records. Court documents, financial records, which are hard to find. They keep trying to, all this stuff. Where is all this info? Where is all this info? So I'm glad that this model spoke out. I'm glad that she, and I want to make sure, hold on. I want to make sure what's going on.
So I've had a few people ask me, why am I?
Whoops. I want to make sure we got this correct. Her name, Bridget Malcolm. So I'm glad that this model, Bridget Malcolm, has spoken up about this, and I can't begin to know what she's had to go through. And I'm good to hear that she's sober and dealing with her, her eating disorder and working on her PTSD. I'm glad that's all glad, and I'm glad she's speaking up, because this actually helps with the Epstein-Les Wexner connection. Indirectly, she doesn't say it flat out, but it definitely shows it shows evidence, if you're a lawyer, to create that there was a culture of abusing underage girls and giving them drugs and telling them to sleep with older men, all that stuff. And there's widespread abuse in the fashion industry she's talking about. So you can't have widespread abuse. All these clear connections to sex trafficking, to the fashion industry. This to me is just more evidence. I'm not letting this story go. And I hope more people come forward. I hope people come forward against Les Wexner and Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. It's out there. There's evidence out there. We'll keep covering it. Thank you, Bridget Malcolm, for speaking out. I appreciate that. That's bold. I can't imagine what that is. I know it's not easy. I know that's not easy. So thanks for watching, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. Bye-bye. Boom. Doc Terminus, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting us at rockford.com. Graham, if there was ever a left media yacht fight with TYT, Minority Report, and Ryan Grimm. Oh, those guys would gladly take a yacht. They would love it if you gave them a yacht. Yes, I'm on TikTok at Graham Elwood. MHC, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Dr. Terminus, yacht fights you propose are great. It's a game of Battleship. Each time you suggest one. Doc Terminus, boom. Left-wing media yacht fight. TYT, Minority Report, Ryan Grimm, etc. face off against you, Jimmy, Lee, and so on. Note, Glenn Greenwald can't play because that's not fair, but A, who wins? B, does Kyle get involved, or like Commander a support yacht, or just try to please everyone and keep calling his agent? Kyle is definitely on a support yacht going, hey, I don't want to get involved. Why didn't you stay on shore then? Well, someone offered me a support yacht, so I thought I'd go. We would win that yacht fight. We would totally win that yacht fight. It would be a hard-won battle, but we would win that yacht fight. I swear, as my hand on a stack of Dark Knight comics written by Frank Miller, we would win that yacht fight. We'd absolutely win that yacht fight. Because I'd outflank them on the yachts. Their arrogance, their hubris is what would cause them to think they could just steamroll our yacht, and then we would have a more higher performance yacht. That's how we would win. Great yacht fight question. Tangerina Hayes, bum, bum, bum. Shave your knuckles for justice. Ghislaine's attorneys are already trying to argue and use the Cosby technicality. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, God. And the sweetheart deal to get her off. Maybe Cosby's deal was to prep us for this potential outcome. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Trying to find some technicality to get her off. We have 474 likes. Hit the like button. Let's get that up to 500, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, but we've been demonetized. So really go over to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It's free to sign up. There's a bunch of free content there. And if you want the premium content, it's $10 a month, but that $10 gets you everybody's free content, or not everybody's premium content. Mine, Lee Camp, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Status Coup, Jimmy Dore, who else? Ron Placone, Lee Camp, all of them. Jason Burmis is over there. Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, I believe. So check that out. Check that out. I'd have shark repellent. Graham's DJ voice rules. Is this the DJ voice you like hearing me talk about, ladies and gentlemen? My DJ voice. Graham Elwood's talking to you in a wonderful, lovely DJ voice. Shave your knuckles before you hit that like button. Yeah, Convo Couch is also there. Yeah, Rosie Trans over there. I forgot about that. She just started posting. I'll keep saying it. 40 plus suppression orders on kid fighters in Australian Parliament, including Prime Minister. Jesus. Do I have a news voice? Hi, this is Graham Elwood reporting to you live from the Political Vigilante Studios. Then you lean in with the elbow and you get the eyebrow up. News you can trust. That's my news voice. Look at these guns. Another segment, kids. There's another goddamn segment coming. There's another goddamn segment coming. Oh, there's a couple things I forgot to add to it. Whoops. I'll be right back. Kate, can you put the be right back? I just remembered there's something. I had the segment built, but there's one other thing I wanted to add to it. So put it, Graham will be right back.
What's up, kids? I'm back. Hello, Grab Elwood is back. I hope you enjoyed that brief respite. But we're about to do the segment in a second. For those of you just tuning in, here's what I do. Hit the like, subscribe button. Follow us at rockfin.com. We're just past 23,000 followers on Rockfin. 4 or 5 months ago, we were at about 10 or 11, 12,000 followers. We've almost doubled just about since YouTube suppressing us. It's free to sign up for Rockfin. And if you're a Rockfin premium member or you're a Patreon member, you get all of my live streams. As soon as the live stream's done, I put it in behind a paywall so you can watch all that stuff, the archive of all of the live streams. So that is what is going on there. Lynn B, shave your knuckles for justice, Lynn. Thank you for supporting us at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. While you're having the yacht fight, you can listen to Yacht Rock Radio on Sirius XM. Yes, I am familiar with that channel. That's awesome. TYT has much more yacht bombs and helicopter support money. I think you're fucked. Typically, I think you're all not taking this seriously, though. Dr. Terminus, you're correct. I should take this more seriously. Just board TYT's yacht and commandeer it. That's part of my tactic. We basically hijack Kyle's support yacht because he's obviously going to follow TYT's yacht around. And we go, oh, we just need to come on board for supplies. And then we take it over. Now we control both yachts. And then you control the yachts. Then I control the whole Navy. The whole Indomedia yacht Navy. We'll get a bunch of small boats, jet skis. Yeah, I can't stop all of them. I'll do some jet ski kamikaze missions. I'll do it. Yeah, I'm also on Odyssey as well. Happy 50th birthday, Julian Assange, another guy that TYT has gone after. TYT smeared Julian Assange in WikiLeaks. Really? We're supposed to, I'm not sure what side to fall on, Kyle. Give me a break. I've been on a bunch of jet skis. Doc Terminus, our leading yacht fight expert. All right, let's do this. Let's do this segment. Yabba dabba doo boo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Next segment is going to be, we're going to talk about celebrity camel toes. Do some hard-hitting news. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. I can't pronounce the name of my own show. That's how excited I am to do this. A great way to support the show is go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where you can submit articles like Mark Waldron did. And what this article shows is how the media like CNN loves celebrating billionaires and kissing their asses and saying, hey, you too can have this. You know, if born into the right situation, potentially you could work hard to maybe make some $1 million, but you can't be a billionaire. Everyone thinks the only way to be a billionaire is you got to be a sociopath. You got to exploit labor. You got to do all these awful things, right? But this is articles like the CNN puts out there. World's first yacht liner unveiled. And it's all just like, isn't this thing so cool? At no point do they go, this is offensive. Why is this thing built? There's people living in tents. Why are we doing this? But this is what CNN does.
measuring an impressive 728 feet. Somino to be the largest yacht in the world by both length and volume when it launches in 2024. Impressive. Remember when they went after Bernie because one year he made $1 million for selling a book? Wow, Bernie makes a 6-figure, 7-figure income, a tidy sum. But this isn't offensive. This isn't egregious in the eyes of CNN. Because billionaires and yacht manufacturers put ad time in this crap. Built by Norwegian ship designer and builder Vard at a cost of around $600 million. So let me see if I got this right. Los Angeles, which homeless population was already really bad prior to the pandemic. There was about 500,000 homeless people prior to the pandemic. Now it's probably in the neighborhood of 1 million to 1.5 million. That's my guess. It's at least doubled. There's no way it's under 1 million people. There's no way. It's impossible. $600 million. I wonder how many studio apartments or tiny homes that could have built. Nope. This gigantic vessel will be fitted with 39 apartments across 6 floors, as well as restaurants, bars, and an onboard beach club. $600 million only gets you 39 apartments? That means, like, I could get you $601 million homes with this. How many tiny homes or studio apartments could this pay for to get homeless people off the streets? This $600 million. And CNN's just gushing over this. With this delusion, this is part of the lie of capitalism. If you work hard, someday you can get this. Really? How? Can I just be born into, if you're born into money, yes, maybe. But come on, man. If you're born with a gifted brain and have parents that can afford to send you to good schools and don't care about exploiting people to become a billionaire, then you too can have this floating whorehouse. However, the purchasing process is by invitation and referral only. No, I can't just go apply. With apartment prices starting at over $11 million. That's to buy an apartment inside of this floating asshole boat. A spokesperson for the project confirms to CNN Travel that some have already been snapped up. So let's look like what is CNN? Let's go to CNN.com's website. I want to see. I'm sure are they covering the homeless problem? Are they covering the fact that we spend all this egregious amount of money on war and we don't have free healthcare in this country? Every other Western country has free healthcare, free college. We don't even have free college. We won't even do student debt forgiveness, something Joe Biden could do with a swipe of his pen right now today. Joe Biden could give us all Medicare for all today. We're still in an emergency with the pandemic. He could have done that day one. The day he was sworn in, could have done those two things. Free healthcare and student debt forgiveness, which would have infused, rather than printing money, you could have just forgiven debt. That would have infused a bunch of money into the economy. Anyone with a student debt would like, oh, I don't have to make this payment every month. Now I got a little more money to spend on food and clothes and whatever else. So let's go to CNN. Are they really tackling the issues for the worker? I don't know. Let's just go to CNN's website, everybody. Let's see what CNN has on their website. Let's just do this in real time. We're just going to go to CNN.com. All right, let's find that right here. There it is. CNN's website. Okay. Let's see what CNN's covering. Let's look at their website, everybody. Meet new COVID victims have this in common. Okay, we're talking about COVID. Everyone who died of COVID in June was unvaccinated. That's not an aberration. Okay. Trip organizer says American Airlines overly harsh when removing teens from flight. Delta variant is serious. Oh, the Gates Foundation has a plan for when Bill and Melinda realize working with your ex sucks. Ha ha ha. Oh, anything in that Bill and Melinda Gates story about Bill Gates having ties to Epstein? I doubt it. Death toll in the condo in Florida. Okay, that seems kind of relevant. Rudy Giuliani suspended from practicing law in Washington. Okay, CNN still going after Trump. Okay. Anderson Cooper is at it again. Lobsters, cruises, and scotch. One cabinet secretary's push to sell Biden's agenda. Wow, that sounds hard-hitting news. Okay, Robert Downey Sr. died. At least one dead in a tropical storm. All right, that's news. New Jersey man arrested after video of racist rant goes viral. Okay. Nothing about wealth inequities. Nope, nothing about it. Wow, weird. Nothing about it. CNN Business, Ford Mustang Mach-E wins car and driver EV of the year. Okay, electric cars, that's cool. All right. Oh, 12-foot snake. Some other clickbaity bullshit. Oh, products. Oh, buy these, buy, shop, buy. New Yorkers picked a former cop for mayor. Okay, Tig Notaro, she's my friend. She's funny. That's cool. Federal judge largely faults Air Force for 2017 Texas church shooting. Best celebrity fashion at Cannes. Biden administration gives senior Saudi visitor the red carpet treatment, signaling possible warming ties. Saudis that also have ties to Epstein. No mention of that. They were part of the 9/11 bombers. Look at this. It's all bullshit on here. Pentagon cancels $10 billion cloud contract given to Microsoft over Amazon. Wow. Megan Fox's kids. Oh, celebrities having fun, being rich and famous. Look at this. Watch bears in a thing. Oh, dogs gone wild. Look at all this crap. Nothing about working class people. Nothing. None of it. None of it. Nothing in there. Nothing in there about wealth inequities. Just, hey, isn't this cool? Isn't this yacht fun? Isn't this yacht awesome? Gee, we've already forgotten about stories like this just from last year, just from like 6 months ago.
The loss of jobs and income showing up in this depression-like economy in so many ways. Showing up today at a food pantry in Queens where the lines to get free food were half a mile long. Half a mile. So many people and not enough food. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Nolan live at the scene in the Corona section. Jim.
Yeah, Bill, when the pantry opened at noon today, there were hundreds of people in line. And many of them had been here since 4 o'clock this morning. They knew they had to get here early because last week the pantry ran out of food. That line stretched, as you said.
The food pantry ran out of food. There were stories like this all last year. I don't know. Maybe that's still happening. Maybe they're just not covered. Maybe there's people still needing food. I don't know. Things are starting to open up. Maybe people are going back. I don't know. But it's not like people waiting in food for hours all of last year. That just went away. Oh, you got your $1,400 and you're good now? You're back to work making $11 an hour. It's all good now? This is more bullshit. Who summed this up the best? Speaking of big red, white, and blue dicks, here's Mark Zuckerberg on a $10,000 hydrofoil surfboard in Kauai flying around like a shithead. When is there gonna, where's a shark attack when you need it? You know what I mean? There's a shark. There we go. There's a shark attack. Take this rich asshole out. Wow. Gee, America's the greatest country in the world when you just become a billionaire. He's bought a bunch of land on Kauai and blocked off his neighbors. He's an asshole. he's an asshole and he deserves to be eaten by a shark. Oh, I love that. Anytime I feel like, man, maybe I swear too much, I watch that George Carlin clip and I go, yeah, you know, if you direct it that way, then it's all right, man. Then it's all right. Well, thanks for watching our show, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe. Support what we do, because that's, you follow the money, you connect the dots. That's how you get the truth. Big billionaires and big corporations give money to companies like CNN, like George Carlin just talked about. They own both parties, the state, the Senate, everything else. They own CNN, they own Fox, they own ABC, NBC, they own all of those things, and they're never going to talk about anything real. They're just going to dangle a yacht in front of the face. Go, if you work real hard, maybe you'll get a yacht. No, if you work real hard, your labor will generate enough money for a billionaire to buy another yacht. You ain't getting one. You're not getting a yacht. I'm not getting a yacht. You're not getting a yacht. And they know that, but they want to dangle that carrot in front of you. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Wait a goddamn minute. I apologize for not letting yacht fights go right before a yacht segment. Never again. Hashtag never again. Oh, God, that's funny. MHC, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Unless you found the yacht fights flagship, unless you count the proposed 11 billion Freedom Ship that was never actually built. Yes. Freedom Ship. Jesus. Freedom Ship. Anything Can Happen game show tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific, an hour early than we normally do it. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, with Jordan and Jen from Status Quo. Free Assange, key witness recanting his testimony. Oh, man. I got to get another Assange reporter on the show to talk about that. Yeah, I've had Tariq Dot on the show, but I want to get that. We're going to need a bigger yacht. People want yachts and aircraft carriers. My Chipotle had a buy one, get one free yesterday night, and they had an estimated 45-minute wait until almost closing. Yeah, for a free burrito. Buy one, get one free. Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. And then Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific time, Government Secrets with Lee Cap, ladies and gentlemen, Government Secrets. Beep, 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 beep. I want to dance with somebody. As William Shatner.
I was wondering when you guys would come back.
You know who we are.
You're Clone Force 99.
Clone Force 99. Oh, hey. Captain's Alarm. Stardate 2543. We are on a 5-year mission to find someone to dance with. Oh, I want to dance. Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. I've done all right up to now. It's the light of day that shows me how, and when the night falls, my loneliness calls. Oh, I want to dance with somebody, Spark. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to beam down and dance with somebody who loves me. Oh, Bones, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Hey, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. I've been in love and lost my senses, spinning through the town. Sooner or later, the fever ends, and I wind up feeling down. I need a man who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last like a phaser. So when the night falls, my lonely heart calls. Turn on your tricorder, cause I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Open up a hailing frequency because I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Hey, I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Somebody who loves me, yeah. To hold me in his arms. I need a man who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last. So when the night falls, my lonely heart calls. I want to dance with somebody. Not just that woman whose tears made you fall in love with her and Bones had to find an antidote. I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Spock, I know you don't understand, but dancing and love are part of what makes us human. I want to feel the heat with somebody. I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, ho. Come on, baby. Hey, let's both beam down and find that hot love that we can dance with. Don't you want to dance with me, baby? Don't you want to dance with me, boy? Hey, don't you want to dance with me, baby? With somebody who loves me. Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. With somebody who loves me. Beam down. Set your phasers on stun. Because I'm ready to dance with somebody who loves me. Oh, that's a show for today, ladies and gentlemen. That was great, fantastic. With somebody who loved, the only show that does karaoke at the end. Ha ha, suck it. What's up, Cappy? USS Polka standing by with USS Lambada. Fantastic. Fantastic. Vanilla David, a tip for ruining a song I used to like. I didn't ruin it. Shatner never ruins anything. He makes everything better. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. We had 598 likes, 2 more to 600. Come on now, 2 more to 600. 2 more to 600. Let's do it. Hit the like button. Get to 600. You can do it right here. 599. I want to see 600 likes. I want to see them. Make that happen. 600. Boom. We did it. 600 likes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be live tomorrow for the Anything Can Happen game show with my co-host Ron Pacone and our contestants, Jordan, Sheridan, and Jen from Status Quo. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Thursday. Tune in, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night. Thank you all so much. Follow the money, connect the dots. That's where you find the truth. And that's how you got to do it. And you're not going to get it listening to shitbirds at TYT or some guy in a green backdrop. Hobgoblin, never trust it. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.